I know. It's another video. Wow. I know you guys aren't used to all this many blogs, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about creative compromise and vision, which is something that the I don't know if the people have talked about yet. So let's talk about that for funs. The big thing to realize about this is that as a creator, you have a vision on how you're going to do this creative process. However, time constraints and the industry itself lends itself to having to make compromises. And see, this is where I think the industry misleads people into saying, well, we're going to give you all this help, but on the reverse side, you're also giving up creative vision freedom. You're losing your control. Now, if you do everything yourself, it takes you like maybe 5 times as long because there should be 5 people working on your video, for example. Well, that's true, but at the same time, you are responsible for that entire vision if you are the one that's doing it. If you give it to a production company, that is not solely your vision, also the vision of the company and the people that are working with you. Now, collaboration is not a bad thing, but it does change your vision. So if your vision is supposed to be a certain way, you may have to compromise that vision. And see, that is what some people find they can't do. That's why I don't work with other people. It's not because I don't want to work with people. It's that I'm not willing to give up that vision that I have that I want to make. So that's what's different than, say, somebody that has a production company of about 5 to 12 people that are helping them produce these videos twice or 3 or 4 times a week. They are having to forego some of their creative vision. Maybe their opinion would not be expressed in the same way that they would express it. Now, that seems kind of narcissistic on the individual side, but you have to understand, let's just say you want a vision to be a certain way. Well, you have to make compromises with other individuals, which sometimes is a great collaboration and sometimes it's not. So that's why I'm so excited about this particular. And again, our medium is getting away from this already. So I think you'll find that that's going to be a challenge. Now, I've seen some of the people that are under production right now that are being produced by industries and companies and stuff like that, and they're brilliant. They're great. They're dynamic. Like, for example, that little nerdy nummy chick is just yummy. She's adorable, and she would have never existed without probably people helping her out, which is nothing wrong with that. Okay, because that's her industry. That's what she does to make a living. So I understand. I'm not blaming her. She's, like I said, she's a doll. But the thing you have to understand is, once you go into these industries, your vision is now owned by them. And what that means is that whatever you create, whatever it is that you're creating, your vision, and the only group of people that I know of that can get their vision as pure as possible are writers. That's where, like, John Green comes in. He actually creates it, and of course he doesn't do it by himself. He has an editor that helps him. He has somebody that helps check his grammar. He has people that go through and look at stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that collaboration, but you have to understand, even that process has people, other hands in the pot. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it does compromise the vision that you have. The vision of your creativity is subjected to the subjected to to the big machine in a way. And I didn't want my channel, I didn't want my creation of these things on the channel to be about a production company. It wasn't about money, because I do this for free on my own when I have the chance. And don't get me wrong, if I was doing this to make a living, I would make the compromises necessary to do this. But see, I am in the position in my life where I can do it by myself. Now, that doesn't mean that if somebody's better at something and they're willing to collaborate with me and they can follow the vision that I'm doing, I'm totally cool with them. But the purity of the vision that I'm trying to produce, and maybe it's not that popular, but the creative vision will always be compromised when you introduce other people into it, and that's something that you have to come to terms with. I don't think that they share that with you in the academy of Google, but I think it's important that you understand that, because a lot of times people are upset with the compromises they make with the company to keep doing what they love to do. And I think that happens a lot, especially at this point in this emerging medium. I think there's a lot of people suffering and are happy because they're having to alter their vision to fit a dynamic that the company that they're working with demands. And that is something that you have to deal with. And some people call it selling out, but really, honestly, it's just you're having to compromise your vision when you do something with others. Not that that's a bad thing sometimes, because sometimes it makes it even better. Sometimes it makes the thing even better than it was. I mean, if I worked with a company on some of the stuff that I'm doing, I'd have access to a lot more footage. I would have time to work on different projects. We'd have better sound quality. We'd have better lighting. We'd have a lot of better things. But at the same time, there would have to be compromises made that would take away from the vision, from the art that I'm making myself. And perhaps that would be a good thing, and perhaps it wouldn't. But it would be something that I would have to internalize and make the decision upon and be able to accept these compromises, which sometimes, being a creative person, that's a challenge. At least in my experience, I've found that it's a challenge. And so, my darlings, many of you suffer from creative angst, sort of. I know that happens, bless your hearts, because you've had to make compromises. And like I said, Hollywood goes after the weak. Okay, they go after people that they can manipulate. They go after people who do not know the industry very well, and they do this so they can abuse you and use you. Yes. They love bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, naive people that they can abuse and take advantage of because they don't create stuff themselves. They are generally bloodsuckers, so to speak. That's metaphoric, though. They're not necessarily bloodsuckers. There are some, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But my point is, you're making a compromise whenever you don't do all the stuff yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's intelligent and good business sense to get help. But if you're doing this just solely for the sake of creativity, then yeah, you're compromising yourself. That's why you have your angst. So you got to deal with it. Just the way it is. You got to deal with it. So that said, now we've talked about this video for 10 minutes. God, I hate 10-minute videos. But I'm glad I was able to do that. So real quick, I'm going to finish up. I've got about 15 seconds before I go into 10 minutes. There's been a lot of stuff going on there's been a lot of YouTube people sharing their opinions on stuff recently that have been really great. I would check out Mark Plyer. He had a really good video where he talked about the negativity that he would see. And again, this kind of ties in with the video that I'm doing, so that's why I mention it. Jenna Marbles did a little bit of pandering, a little bit of just a scunch of pandering there, Sweet Pea, but she had a very interesting thing. She talked about unpopular opinions. I thought that was nice. So there were some very good points that she had in her video, even though, like I said, I did just a little pandering, Sweet Pea. We can see it. You know, you're not the only one with education. Toby Turner has been having some serious issues that came up on a different media source, and so now his whole career is called in question. And congratulations, Toby, you're now experiencing another facet of fame, the one that people try to avoid. But if you don't manage your shit and you get slack or you get emotionally unstable because of drugs or whatever the hell was happening, you got too complacent, my boyo. And because of it, now you're going to face some nasty, nasty stuff that could just ruin your career. And I'm sorry. I really, honestly, I know I sound like I just made a laugh, but honestly, I am really sorry that you were having to go through this. But since you are so famous now, they're going to analyze you like a football game and your situation like a football game. Enjoy all the harsh shit that goes with that. Because you're a public figure, baby boy. You are not getting away from this without a scrape. They are going to rake you across the coals for this. Doesn't matter if you did it or not. They're going to run with it. And I'm sorry. But that's just the way that's just the way this thing rolls, man. Fame is a fickle, fickle monster. Should have listened to me when I told you that. But, yeah. You did not stay vigilant, my boy. Let fame go to your capesa. Okie dokie. Well, good luck to you on that. Outside of that, babies, that's about all I got for you. We appreciate you. Know that we love you. And we just keep trying to give you what you need. Because I hate to see you guys suffer. I really do. But it is what it is. Carry on, people. We'll see you next time.